of the moon. Today I'm going to present to you a solo that I performed on a recording recently. We're going to analyze it, talk about it, and sort of learn what made it tick and why I do what I do on it. The song is called East of the Sun, West of the Moon. It's from the recording that we just recently recorded about a week and a half ago, Michael Bloom's new CD called Chasing Oscar, and he sings vocal on this, chunks some guitar, and I play bass, and I play a bass solo, and Don Moyo's on drums. I think you'll find it very interesting because I'm going to analyze it here. I've got it on a piece of paper, and I've got this camera over here pointed at that piece of paper, and you're going to see me use my finger here as a pointer so we can talk about it. Let's just jump right in. To start with, I want to tell you that most of the things I'm going to show you here and talk about, I don't think of consciously while I'm playing the bass at all. But I did practice every single one of these items. One of my favorite phrases about jazz improvisation goes like this. You don't need to really practice improvising. You need to practice those elements you're going to use when you do improvise. Simply, when we're out on the football field or basketball field, we don't have time to think about which foot or how high to jump or how far to push that ball. No, it just happens. But we have to work on the mechanics and fundamentals so it happens correctly. Where I go to my health club at the gym, there's a little track, indoor track that runs around some basketball courts, and I see this young guy, maybe 12, 13, practicing there often when I go there. The only thing is he's really not practicing. He's just noodling around. Remember what practice is? Repetition of a predetermined idea. Well, this young man's just doing all sorts of cool little moves and all sorts of stuff, but I notice that he doesn't repeat anything very often. Therefore, he doesn't get a consistency of motion, of action. So he's not going to get a consistent result either. Well, I've worked on these elements that I'm going to teach you about and talk about here. I've worked on them many, many times. So I'll just outline them here in the paper. But understand, you're not going to be able to just, say, okay, I'll think about that when I solo. No, you're going to have to think about that and work on that as a principle, a guiding physical mental factor, so that when you do solo, those things become natural. It's no different than learning the vocabulary of a foreign language, so then you can actually speak that foreign language. Understand? Sure. I use this example too, which is kind of funny but accurate. I can't really just improvise speaking Japanese today. No, I need to look at all those figures and all those little caricatures and learn what they mean and what they do and study them. Well, it's the same thing we're going to do here, okay? Let's jump into it now. Let's go to the page. Take a look here. You'll notice I have the chord changes above the notated solo. Now, often I don't necessarily pay attention to the chord changes. I mean, the solo basically fits them, but I don't play a line based on, ready, now it's B minor 7. No, I recognize a tonality, G major, and I play a line that kind of goes up or down. It makes some direction, it has some momentum to it, just based on the sound of it. I mean, listen to this opening. That was this part right here. Here's the tonality. Bee-bo-dee-bo-dee-bo-dee-ah. Now, I didn't purposely say, oh man, I'm going to play that A. No, I just worked on this a lot over G major. So my ear just told me, a 1, 2. Now this is a little bit unique. You say G major. Jim, how do you justify that A? Well, that sounds good. Plus, I didn't just go A, I played a line. Dee do dee do dee 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 da. You might say, oh, well, that's pentatonic. Sure it is, but again, I didn't think of that. I just had this little sound that popped into my ear. So here's the opening phrase, and here's where it starts. Now notice this. G, A, F sharp, E, D. My gosh, sound familiar? Sure, it's part of that G major scale, but again, I'm not thinking of the scale, I'm just moving a line down. Then check out the next line. Sorry, yeah. I'm sort of sticking with my little theme of A that I had here. You can analyze this and say, oh, that's like an F sharp minor. That fits over this. Well, I didn't think it that way. I just thought I was all in G. I mean, look at these notes. If I'm not mistaken, isn't every one of those notes so far in the key of G, just in a G major tonality? Sure. Now here I noticed, or my ear took notice of the chord change and where we're going, and look at that note there. That G sharp. Yeah, that's the first place in the song where it sounds different. Our harmony goes. The chord changes. Sorry. Here comes this one. Oh, sure, there's that G, that G sharp. So my line again from this beginning. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you might say I outlined the chord. Sure, 3, 1. Sure, I just, I chose that note because I knew, like a guide tone, it was going to allow the listener and me to go, oh, I know where I'm at now. I've sort of settled in. Next measure, look at those. Those notes look familiar? C, E, G, A. Well, that's an A minor 7, is it? Yeah. Just A minor notes. Now, we're going to talk about rhythm in a moment. The question is, well, Jim, how'd you know to use a triplet there? Well, we're going to talk about rhythm, and that's the most important part. But let's go on. Now, here we go. Look at this, C minor. I know by ear, and I know just by looking at the chords, that's a different tonality than these chords here. So look at these notes here. Look at that. E flat, D, E flat, D, C. That says C minor to me. Sure. F7, same thing. Here's the line. Yeah. Then we're back to A minor. Sorry. See that A minor D7? Again, I'll talk about the rhythm in a little while. I purposely use rhythm to make my solos feel good. The notes, they're just kind of little shapes I've got in my hand. This is just a lead in to this one. But again, it's really a continuation. Look at all these pitches starting from this one here. See how that phrase just went downhill? This one did too. Look. Where are we at? Oh, there we go. Then we're up to A7. Now this is a little bit unique, and notice I use that C sharp immediately. Oh, sure. That's the first time we've had this A major sound. Everything else before was A minor because it was going to G. Now we've got. Sure. So I use that. Then I just did a little bend. Actually did a slide there. Just want to make a little tension sound. And then I went back to A minor. A, G, C, E, A, G, E, C, A, G. Sure, look at that. Look at those notes. G, A, C, E, G, A. Just a little half step approach there. say, what's that E flat all about? This is just a little 2-5-1 pattern I've played many times. Tension note. I don't think at all that E flat is a flat 9 of D7. No, it's just part of this little melodic 2-5-1 beboppy sounding lick that I have learned, and I play it over and over. Let me play from there again. There through there. 2, 3, 4. Now check this out. I'm back to basically the top, the second half, and I use the same sort of things. Beat-o, beat-op, just like up here. I go sorry. Beat-up, beat-up, beat-o. Sure, I just made a little sprays. Beat-o, dee-do, boop, beat-on. And then here. Sure. It's still a G, a little G with a little blues in it. You can call it B minor to E if you want, but I don't really think of it that way. Let me play these 4 together and you'll hear. 1, 2. Then I blatantly get back to A minor here. Here's A minor. Look at these notes. A, C, E, G. And that's A minor if I've ever seen it. Oops. Ah, here comes that C minor again. I set it up a little bit early. I anticipate it. Look at those notes, how all of a sudden we don't have any E's. We're in the C minor tonality. And then here's right on the C minor. Right? Sorry. Sure, that's C minor. C, E flat, C, B flat, G, C, B flat, G, E flat, D, C. Oh, man. But again, I'm not thinking of, here's my scale. No, I've worked out these patterns before. But again. Yeah, I have sat and worked these types of little patterns out. Let me tell you, to quote Chuck Israels, there's nothing as well rehearsed as a good improvised solo. Sometimes, and believe it or not, people just play them exactly as they rehearsed them. Often people rehearse licks and phrases, and then in the heat of the battle, if they know those licks and phrases well enough, in their hands and in their heart, they can just sort of put them together. It's really no different than me speaking to you right now. I'm not saying new words you've never heard. I'm not making up new things. I'm using this vocabulary that I have down very well. Not a large vocabulary, mind you, but I have it down well enough that I can improvise with it. I can speak my message and communicate to you. It's called freedom through discipline. It's the same thing musically. Let's go on, back to the page. Where are we at here? Oh, here's our C minor thing. Right, going down there. Then we're in A minor again. Right, just up and down A minor, a little melodic phrase. And then, by the way, that's like a little 2-5-1 look again. Sure. And I wanted to get that. That's a guide tone. Look at this. This E of the F sharp, D sharp of the B, half step resolution. It's the 7th to the 3rd. Again, I don't think of those while I'm playing, but I've worked them out and thought of them years ago, many, many times. Sure. And then right up E minor, E, G, B, E, C, or excuse me, D going to that C sharp. There's that A7 again. See, it's the same spot we get that A dominant in. Just we did it a couple of times earlier. Let me play that for you. Sure. So this whole phrase here, check this out. See how they connect? It really is a connecting phrase, is what it is. And unlike some of these that went down and high, this one kind of goes, shape is very important. Let's go on. A minor again. 3rd, root 3rd. Now, I know this sound from the song, and I looked at this. I can see these chord changes. Look, here's my C minor stuff again. Isn't that exactly like the C minor stuff earlier? Sure, look at it up here. And then again there. I don't worry about what chord that is. If those fit, it's just a phrase. Now here I think I remembered all of a sudden I was playing something. Oh, here we go, half step tonality. So I decided to illustrate the thing by just going. Look at that. B flat minor, E flat 7, E flat F, G, A flat, B flat C, D flat, E flat. It's just up an E flat dominant, or yeah, D flat dominant scale. And then it leads right to up the E minor, excuse me, up the A minor again, and then this phrase. To me, that just sounded right. Let me play from here to the end now. Check this out. 3, 4. 1, 2. 3, 4. Sure. Let's pause for a second here, and let's talk about rhythm now. Now here's the basic groove to the tune. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doom, doom, doom. If I were playing the bass line. Good. So here's the groove. Now listen to this. Just listen for a second. You can watch the music too if you want to. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Da da do do dee do do da da. Booty doo da, boo doo booty booty, booty boo da, ba da ba doo dee boo bee, ba da ba doo dee boo dee boo dee, bee, ba, be doo boo da, be ba doo da. Did you see what I did? I sang the rhythm. Look at the music now. Started right here and I sang the rhythm all the way up to there. Just the rhythm. I want to do it again and see if you can feel the phrasing. Watch the music this time. 2, 3, 4. Be bo dee do dee dee da da. Boo dee boo da. Bo bo do do dee. Boo dee boo da. Ba da ba do dee do dee. Ba da ba do dee do dee do dee. Be ba boo dee boo da. Be ba do da. Be dee bo do 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 do. Boo dee boo dee boo dee boo do 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 da. Boo dee da dee da do be da. Ba do 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 do. Boo boo do do dee do da dee do da. Be dee do dee bo dee do dee bo dee bo dee boo da. Got the idea? I'm making rhythmic phrasing. Now watch my playing again. Watch this. Yeah, I'm just sort of screwing around. That's not good improvisation. But I was making little rhythmic phrases, and I was trying purposely not to play necessarily really good notes, just some notes. Let's do it again, try that same thing, just with sound. 1, 2, 3, 4. sure. I'm just pretending like playing a little snare drum. I'm playing a rhythm. Rhythm is the most important part. Most important part. You get good rhythmic phrasing in your ear by listening to great music. You know how sometimes you are playing or listening to a good group and Dom's playing the brushes and all of a sudden it comes time for him to play some solo on fours and it's very easy to get lost? It's not easy to get lost if you hear the rhythmic phrases he's playing. You say, well, I don't know that I recognize them. Recognize them is the key phrase. You're hearing them with your ears. They are the jazz language. It's just a matter of listening to great music with good drummers and hearing those rhythmic phrases enough that you'll start to recognize them. Haven't you noticed you walk outside sometimes on a spring morning and there's birds chirping and it just sort of sounds like noise? If you'll sit down quietly and close your eyes and sit there long enough, you'll start recognizing all the little patterns and all the little birds, the same things they're doing over and over and over. Sure, rhythmic phrasing. Often without pitches, we have a hard time hearing the rhythm. I quite frankly think that we teach improvisation backwards. We tend to look at the pitches and the chords and all that stuff first. We really should be working with rhythm first. Hence my new methodology, my book, which is still working on, called Improvising with Rhythm and Melody. Sure, not chord scales or not theory or not that kind of stuff. Rhythm and melody. I'm going to play in this video again the very first part where I played this bass solo. You got to see me video along with the music. And watch it again. Watch the music this time. Before, I don't think there was music there. I'll put the music up so you can watch the music here as the sound goes by. Cool? We're going to do some more of this lesson, don't worry. I know I've left a lot of stuff out and I kind of hurried through it, but we're going to get it. I just want to sort of repeat or emphasize again. Work on good rhythmic phrasing, listen to great players to copy it, and then work out very simple, very small little melodic cells, if you will. Yeah, little melodic cells that you know sound over a certain chord. So when you hear a chord, you can go, oh, that's this one. Or you can go, oh, that's this one. Or maybe it's this. Sure. Work out little 2-5-1 licks if you want. And then it's just a matter of doing them over and over and over till they sink in, and then you will use them. You will use them when you perform, if they're inside you enough. I've had too many students say, Jim, I transcribed music and worked on that PC stuff over and over, but I couldn't get it into my playing. Well, that's because once you learn it, it takes a long time for it to soak in. Again, it's like a foreign language. You can learn a bunch of words and phrases, but it takes quite a while to where it soaks in to where you can actually improvise with it. And when you can improvise with it, that's fun. I had so much fun playing on this recording with Michael. I don't mean to sound arrogant with all the humility I can muster. This was dirt simple. It just felt good. The time was right, and I just played. I could have played 20 or 30 choruses. Good thing I didn't, of course. But I'm just speaking with my vocabulary, and that's fun. That's where you want to get to. You want to develop some vocabulary so when the light's on, you're not guessing and going, oh my God, what do I do? I hope it's working. I'm not sure. And you sort of shuck and jive and dance. No, you want to go, hey man, I'm just going to speak my little language. Just tell my little story. You have to be confident enough, too, that you don't worry about, oh man, I'm playing the same thing over and over. Well, guess what? I'm saying the same words over and over when I'm talking to you. I'm just able to mix and match them and shape them, so I'm creating my message. So this little solo I just played on this recording, that was my message on it. It would be different the next time I'd play it, but it would still have my vocabulary in it, because I've worked that out. Cool? Fire it up. Hope you enjoyed this one. Hello. Thank you for watching and supporting our videos. I'm wanting to invite you over to our Patreon site. This is where we offer people a chance to support what we're doing. If you like the videos you're seeing, I ask for your support as a patron. If you don't know anything about it, there's a bunch of tutorials. Just go to patreon.com/JimStinnett. And it's an opportunity for you and everyone to support what we're doing and help us bring bass education to people all over the world. Thank you very much.